Hello, this is the third module of the Code with Altino Facilitators Programme. It's called Altino the Robot Car. The learning outcomes for this module: firstly, get to know Altino the Robot Car and its functions. Secondly, get to know how Altino the Robot teaches coding in classrooms and helps you as teachers to deliver STEM and STEAM. Thirdly, to understand how you can teach students the importance of data and how they can use it to change the world around them. So what is the purpose of Altino the Robot? Let's have a look. The key to students having in-demand skills in Australia is to have a strong foundation in building apps and robotics. Number one, with Altino the Robot, you only have to invest in one technology product to teach computer programming. Number two, you can teach students from early learning, including kindergarten, right through to tertiary level within the context of a STEM curriculum. And you can also use Altino to teach basic applied skills, such as general problem solving to calculate distances, through to advanced skills such as CCTV, security camera, motion detection, and time-lapse photography. Let's watch these videos to see the impact of Altino the Robot in teaching coding overseas in schools. I'm going to go through about 3 videos here.
What was it? Play the robot, Altino. Do you think computer programming is boring? That's because you've never seen Altino before. Altino is an assistant of software education. Altino is an intelligent robot with dynamic motions based on various sensors, batteries that last up to 8 hours, and highly efficient durability appropriate for its dynamic motions. Nothing can compete with Altino. Altino can adjust its sensors according to the environment. It can be controlled by an integrated computer program or smartphone. Learn how to code if you want to communicate with the robot. As many dots gather to create a line, many algorithms gather to move the robot. Your every task will be exciting if you do it with the intelligent robot, Altino. Sophisticated design and dynamic algorithm technology cultivates your creativity based on logics with easy and fun education experience. You are ready to be an expert of coding with Altino. Let's play Altino. Play the robot Altino. Coding is much easier now. Bringing imagination to reality. An intelligent robot maker, Scion Company Limited.
And another video where Altino was featured on the Geek Beat on USA TV. There is a little bit here that talking about the Tesla cars. So what I'm going to do is move straight to the Altino
kind of revolutionary
cars. The challenge for Tesla pre-orders, every one of them had to put down $1,000. Even though 65,000 people canceled, they're still picking up about 1,800 orders a day. So I don't know. I mean, they're trying to raise money to speed up their manufacturing, but I would say they've described manufacturing hell ahead. That is their challenge.
All right, don't feel sorry for Elon Musk. I think he's going to be okay.
It'll be fine.
All right, let's talk about the Altino robot cars. Now, we had heard that the Waianae School, the teachers were actually doing this summer, learning to code.
Well, yeah, this is not quite a Tesla, but
Right.
this is something that non-coders can learn to code. So, if you take the idea of robotics kind of to a level where you're actually controlling something that's pretty cool. Look at all the LEDs. I mean, I'm just totally attracted to this. And,
Oh, yeah?
yes, blinking lights. Well, and what they do is they teach teachers the conditional language, syntax, sort of like the structure of a programming language. And then the main functions that they would start off with are stuff like go, steer, and delay, so that you can actually go, steer, and then actually, delay it so that it actually goes into like a right angle if you're going to do a right turn. So those are like the fundamental basics of programming. And once they realize that, wow, I can actually control this vehicle, then the light goes off and says, oh, that's what programming is all about. So it gets the teachers all excited, it gets students all excited. So this is sort of a way to get programming into the schools.
And there's a big event happening.
Well, so like this weekend, there's an actual event. If you go to oceanet.com/events, they're doing a little fundraiser to help send a couple of kids from Hawaii to Korea for an international coding event. Now, this is actually...
we also want to do this. We sent an Australian team of only 2 students last year. So that's what we also want to do, is to send an Australian team to South Korea for the big international robotic competition. We'll get onto that later. Let's have a look at the third video, and this is just a teacher talking in Hawaii.
Really clear from the presentation, the block programming seems really easy to pick up. I think with a little exploring, and we figured it out here in 30 minutes, people were creating their own programs. So yeah, it's going to be definitely used by students and teachers, and program-wise, pretty excited about it.
And another news item on Altino in the USA.
Some South Korean whiz kids are in town helping Native Hawaiian students learn coding.
It's all because of a partnership between Kamehameha Schools and a local engineering firm. On the Kapalama campus, 5 students from South Korea are sharing what they know about coding with Kamehameha elementary and middle school students.
It was a really good experience having them come here and teaching us how to code.
We're first of all here to share, not actually teach.
15-year-old Park Jong-hui speaks some English but found the language of coding to be universal.
Everybody is very smart and they can understand my speaking. I'm so happy and I was very surprised.
These students have been programming these robotic cars to go in circles and eventually play music like Hawaii Pono'i. In South Korea, coding became mandatory in schools this year, and OceanNet hopes to expose all Hawaii teachers and students to this type of computer science. So far, they've gone from teacher training sessions to inmate courses in prison, and now this high-tech student exchange.
To see them actually teach it really shows you what is possible for young people, and so what we want to do is bring that to Hawaii's young people through their teachers.
It's everywhere. The software is everywhere. Everything's connected.
Teachers say coding is preparing students for their future. And they hope this unique international exchange happens again.
So it's a couple of videos there from Hawaii. This is endorsement from the government of Hawaii. I'll just read a little bit of it. Progress can only be made when people put ideas into action. While many brilliant ideas exist, very few become reality. One South Korean company, Scion, making imagination real as indicated by their motto. Scion was established only 5 years ago, but the company has already made great strides in the technological and educational sector. Altino has been incorporated into the City of Daejeon's school curriculum. As a result, Daejeon has become the top coding district in the entire country. Such an accomplishment is not limited to Daejeon alone. Due to Scion's readily accessible, easily understood technology, nearly 100 Hawaii teachers and more have been taught or will be taught the program. These classes are part of a statewide effort to reform the educational system and create a technologically skilled student body. These efforts are greatly appreciated and will prepare our kaiki, or our students, for the future. So looking back on our slide on the robotics revolution that we looked at earlier, Altino is invented in South Korea and has been teaching coding in 9 countries over the last 5 years. Aggressive adopters who are using Altino to teach coding in their schools. South Korea, obviously the inventor, and where coding is now compulsory across the country. And Indonesia, who are aggressive adopters. The US and China, who are fast adopters, are also using Altino. Others are Australia, obviously, Malaysia, India, Philippines, Dubai, and Vietnam. So I think it's time for a demonstration, and I'll use this as an opportunity to talk about the learning icons that we use throughout the Code with Altino curriculum. You may have noticed as we've been going through little icons commencing each page. This is a demonstration icon. Because this is a video tutorial, there has been a lot of lecture icons where I simply just talk through the learning. This is a demonstration, and we're going to do our best with a video tutorial. Obviously, this is best where we are doing an on-site facilitators program, but let's hope that you can get through this with your own robot. So what I suggest you do now is to get your robot and pull it out of its box, the little white box, and to switch it on. And to do that, you turn your robot over and there's a power switch to switch on and off at the bottom of the robot. So please do that now. Altino is an all-in-one product. It has 6 hours battery life, although it really does go up to 8 hours battery life if you haven't used any of the sensors throughout the day. And it can be easily transported from classroom to classroom. Unlike other robots, when you have a lot of, I guess I call them appendages, if you like, that need to be dragged around, it's really easy. Altino is compact. So let's have a look at some of its features and sensors. So have a look at the diagram and then compare this, have a look at the actual robot that you're holding. So firstly, I'm just going to switch on the highlighter on this presentation. I think it's in pointer options, laser pointer, there you go. So firstly, the infrared receiving module, that's actually pays attention to 6 infrared sensors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it may be 8, I'm not sure. But there's 2 on the back, 2 on the front. So and also infrared sensors on the side. They're called IR sensors. And what they do is they detect movement. So the reason why Altino can be autonomous is it because the sensor, for instance, at the front detects a block coming, and the student programs it with data to say when the sensor is reaching a certain point in data, you need to turn the robot around. So they're really important for first programming. There is also a temperature sensor that measures the ambient temperature in the environment. So you can quickly work out some great practicalities of that. So for instance, in the real world, a sensor in a house detects that it's getting colder, so it turns on the heating. Illumination sensor is also called CD, sensor for short. The reason why it's called CD is because CD is short for candela, which is light sensor. So for example, that is a great exercise to do if Altino moves into a tunnel. Obviously the light sensor readings drop, and then the robot is programmed to switch its lights on, for example. We also have a gyro sensor. So that means it detects movement and vibration. This is also how a lot of iPhones work, and that's talked through in the module and really exciting for the students. Acceleration sensor, terrestrial magnetism sensor, which we won't go into here. The other function or feature that Altino has is an 8x8 dot matrix. This is called a dot matrix full of 64 pixels because, as you can see, there's 8 pixels across the top and 8 pixels across the bottom. And the students can have great fun in, for example, creating an LED text message, or creating pixel art like love hearts and so forth, making them disappear, making smiley faces, blink, etc. So the students have had a lot of fun with that. It communicates via Bluetooth, and you know the robot is connected when the light goes blue, and we will do that as part of this facilitators program for the teachers. And it's very easy to connect the robot via Bluetooth because that's how the robot can sense the programming from the student's iPad or computer. And here is another learning icon, which I call a fascinating fact, or a did you know, that you can use the buzzer functionality to teach and make music. And we actually have a whole module on teaching the students music using Altino the Robot Car, and we even go into learning basic music concepts. So with the LED matrix and the music, we really are progressing into a STEAM context rather than just a STEM context. Altino and data. And as we saw from previous videos, data management and data analysis and collecting data is going to be so important for the students' futures. And this shows them, the image shows below how data from Altino sensors are presented with the Altino program. Students can see in real time how their programming impacts data in real life, and therefore how to manipulate the robot to respond to the environment, or learning through trial and error. And this is what STEM is all about. So on your tablet, if you have an iPad, once you've downloaded the Scratch app, which we will do in a later module of this Facilitators program, all you need to do is click this orange right arrow and the data comes up. So remember I talked about the illuminance sensor, CDs? So this is showing that the current data reading for the light in the room is 316. This is the readings for all your different IR infrared sensors. So IR5 is in 0, IR1 is 162. So in terms of programming movement, that's where the real life data comes in. So how does Altino the Robot Car educate in schools? It is a coding education solution, that's how it has been designed, as a one-stop shop. All you need to do is add additional hardware for more advanced languages. So for example, for Scratch, Java and Python, you really just need the AI car, and through this the students will learn foundation in coding skills such as using data variables, conditional statements, events, and the applications of that are, for example, video games and building Android apps. The next is the Arduino unit. It's a very small, almost credit card size that sits on top of your robot. And through this, the students learn C programming fundamentals and can also then move on to C++. Probably more into high school level is a Raspberry Pi, where the students can learn more Visual Studio or visual programming language for graphics and gaming, CCTV, and the rest of those applications there. And then, of course, you have the Code with Altino curriculum, which allows you to take the students through the STEM topics. So if you've never seen a Raspberry Pi before, here is a picture of one. This image shows a Raspberry Pi sitting on top of the robot. With the Raspberry Pi, Altino has a webcam where students can develop skills such as facial recognition technology, colour recognition and CCTV. So you can just see I haven't got the pointer on at the moment, but you can see the webcam at the front of the Raspberry Pi there. This is more for high school students. So here we have the lecture icon again, as I was talking before. As I mentioned, there's been lots of lecture icons in this. I've just put the laser icon here. I'm talking about this. So basically, this is a lecture icon where me as the teacher can talk through. And this is exactly what I've been doing through the Facilitators program. So when you see that icon, you know that you just talk through. So I'm going to do that now. Every year, an international robotics competition for school and university students is held in South Korea in November. Last year, we sent our first Australian team who impressed the judges after completing the Scratch code with our Altino program. And we are looking for schools to participate. If you are interested, please email us and we'll support you all that we possibly can to get a great Australian team. But let's have a look and see what happened last year. Teach Code with Altino program, we've put the activity set up by judges in last year's competition. So that's a great way for the students to understand this is the level that's expected at the end of each of the programs. If you have any technical issues with your robots, we have great after-sales support. All you need to do is go to our website and complete the form that's at this link. And here is the form. This is where you can help describe the issue to us so we can better way of helping you. And that completes this module. Thanks again for listening.